two.
Hello, I'm Maribel Serrano, and I'm here with Frank Montes. He is the chair of the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. So happy to have you here. We'll save the best for last. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone's great. But you've just been running around. I mean, you've been really great putting this all together, and it's been such a great event. And you have a great story. Can you brief us a little bit? I mean, you know, I know that there's a lot that goes into everything that your story is about, but just in a nutshell. Maybe where you were raised, where you started, and what inspired you to join the chamber in the first place?
Well, I was born in Nicaragua. I was brought here when I was 4 years old. Very tough upbringing. Parents didn't have a lot of money. It was rough, and I saw that as I was growing up. So I started working myself, cutting lawns when I was 12 to buy my own clothes, my shoes, and my dad had a body shop, and so I started going to work with him on the weekends, and I liked it. You know, get my hands dirty, you know, put a little bit of money in my pocket, so I was excited. Then after that, I went to the Marine Corps. While I was in the Marine Corps, I caught meningitis, so I got an honorable medical discharge, and with the money that I had, I opened up my own body shop. So that started around 1984, and ran it. It was really tough opening up a business. I lived in the office I had, worked 7 days a week, took a shower there, and because I didn't have enough funds to pay the rent for the property that I was leasing to have my business and rent an apartment, so I just stayed there.
But back, you know, what was it that inspired you from working at an auto body shop to say, I can actually own one? Where did that come from?
From my parents. He was doing it, and I'm not afraid of taking on challenges. I just say, you can't do it, or yes, I can, and I did it.
Is that something that you've just kind of been born with, I guess?
I'm born with that.
And how did you become involved with the chamber?
Probably 8 years ago, I was trying to get more business, so I started going to the Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. They asked me to become a director, and this was out of Long Beach. And one of the gentlemen that we're recognizing tonight, Roy Perez, I met him at one of the meetings we're having in Long Beach, and he became my mentor. And he helped me grow. And so I said, if I'm advocating for my business, I might as well advocate for everybody's business, everyone's business. And I started finding out the challenges that businesses had through overregulation, and just business had no voice. So I took it personally because my business was going to my children, and I would have just dreaded thoughts of the struggles they were going to have. So I took it on full force to give business a voice and be their advocate. My business, I have 22 employees. I haven't ran it for over a year and a half. My sons are doing that now. So all I do is it gives me the opportunity to travel, to go to Sacramento, go to DC, and be the voice for small business. And the reason that is because I am a small business owner. I live it. I know what it's like to have sleepless nights, how to be payroll on Friday. Do I pay my light bill today? Do I pay my water bill? Or, can I make sure that I have money to buy parts? And at the end of the day, that's part of the journey. That's part of the journey. It's made me who I am today. But I found out later in life that a lot of these challenges that I was having, I didn't need to have them. If I would have just been more involved, more educated in a lot of the processes. And Roy used to tell me, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So I'm at the table.
I need to live by that. I think a lot of us need to start thinking that way. Why do you think it's so important to support the Hispanic community specifically?
Well, the reason I support the Hispanic community is I'm a Latino. I'm a Latino, and especially now with what's happening nationally, where the Latinos have been targeted as the bad people, this, that. I don't approve of that. I take offense to it. And it should show us as a people that we need to unite. We need to get involved. We need to have our voices heard. Because if we cannot just bow our head down and pretend that it's just going to pass us by, or it's not my problem, somebody else will take care of it. No, you have to take care of it. You have to get involved. And I think a lot of the Latino community don't know how to, or kind of afraid because of the culture where we come from. You know, back in our countries, there's political unrest, there's civil war, and everybody's told just keep quiet, you know, don't say anything, stay out of everybody's way, because if not, you're going to end up dead. When they come here, they still bring that mentality, they bring that culture, and that needs to change. That needs to change.
How do you manage, because you are the chair, you have a very big role and you're very busy. How do you manage work-life balance when you have so much responsibility on a professional level?
The board, amazing board, amazing staff. Everything worked out perfect. All the stars aligned because the board that we have now and the staff are amazing. Believe me, if I didn't believe in this board, I would say it, as I have no problems having telling everybody how I feel. This is an amazing board. This board is going to change the organization, and that's what's allowed me to do what I do. Now, how do I balance life and business? Well, my kids do the business. This is my life right now. This is my life. I live it. I believe it. And I said that I was going to help to bring this organization where it should be. This organization should be the #1 organization in the state and maybe the nation as far as advocating for small businesses, advocating for our communities. I also believe that we have to get more involved in our communities, because if our communities are hurting, our small businesses are going to hurt, and vice versa.
I like how you said that. How do you manage work-life balance? You combine them. It's like the same. Work is life. That's great. Well, this has been such a great convention. What can we expect for next year's?
Well, next year it's going to be in the northern region. They're talking about San Francisco or Napa. So that's going to be up to the convention committee to bring it up to us and see where we vote. But it's going to be in the northern region. And I think it's going to be great. This convention, what we did was we hired only local contractors, local vendors, and I told the members, visit the local shops, visit the local restaurants, because I want the CHCC to be known as, when they have a convention, they impact the local community, truly impact the local community, and help the small businesses.
Also, I've noticed, because we're in Riverside and it just so happens to be here this year, I have noticed, maybe you can answer this question for me, I've noticed such a sense of community and a lot of support here that I notice in other cities it might be diverse, but there's not that element of support. What is it about Riverside, you think, that kind of allows for that?
Well, Riverside, the convention was supposed to be in Riverside about 10 years ago, and Riverside lost it. So Riverside, the Greater Riverside Hispanic Chamber of Commerce has been advocating for it to come here for many years. So the city's been involved all those years. The Visitors Bureau has been involved. And when Riverside was chosen, everybody was excited. And it was a partnership with the city and all the small businesses to make sure that it was feasible to come here. So we got great deals to have it here. And to have the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce here in the city of Riverside is big. Is big because we are the majority. We are the majority. And when you bring a business organization anywhere, it impacts the community. It helps their residents, helps them understand, helps their businesses get more information, get more educated, resources. So it's a win-win for everyone.
How do you think millennials, the millennial generation, can become more involved and have a positive impact on their communities?
Well, this year the theme was innovation and millennials. And the reason that the millennials is because there's so many issues going on that I think that it's time to pass the torch on to the millennials. The world has changed so much with technology that I can't figure it out. I rely on my children to assist me. So I think that the millennials have a different thought process. They don't have that cultural baggage, per se, and they think different. They work with everyone, all races, and they're just totally different.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's much more, we consider ourselves multicultural, I think a lot of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's needed now, to bring these kids, and I think they understand the world a lot better than we did when we were their age, with all this information in an instant. They know what's going on in China the second it happens, what's going on in Russia the second it happens. And that's good for somebody that wants to do international trade, international business, to know what's happening. Because chaos in China, chaos in Russia impacts the U.S. economy. And understanding that, and understanding how to turn a negative into a positive, they do that very well. They do that very well. Our millennials, our CAP students, took on the drought issue this year, and they presented earlier today, and they did tremendous job. And I was kind of concerned, are they going to understand it? Are they going to be able to deal with the politics, follow the money? And they got it. They got it.